Hello, everyone. Welcome to Vap Fashion's YouTube channel. My name is Eunice. So, today we'll be learning how to adapt a basic skirt pattern into a mermaid skirt. So, can you see I already have my front piece and my back piece? And then I also went ahead to label the center back to indicate that that's my center back. So, I hope this is what you would like to learn. So, stay tuned while we get right into the tutorial. So, to adopt it into a mermaid skirt, so I'm just going to come here and get the center. This is the knee line. Remember that we have 8 inches there. So on this knee line, I'm going to mark 4 inches. And then I'll also go ahead to mark 4 inches at the down part, like you can see me do. So I'll go ahead to connect the lines like this. That is from the hem to the knee. Okay, so for the back also, I'm going to get the midpoint, which is the same 8 inches that we have here. So I'm going to get 4 inches, 4 inches also, and then I'll connect it like this, like this. I've drawn this mark, so I'm going to slash through now. We are actually trying to adopt it into our mermaid outfit. So here, so this is my front piece I'm cutting now. So take note. Now these are center front. So now I'm going to slash it towards the side like this. Take note that it's towards the side for the front. So can you see? So this is the center front and this is the side front. So can you see that when I open like this, I have a mermaid outfit, okay? So you don't want to slash through. The colors come very close so that it can relax well when you open it. So here we are. So for the back now, let's keep this aside, we're done with this. For the back now, this is the center back and this is the side back. So I'm going to slash it like this from here. So now for the back, it is different. I'm going to be slashing both ways to open both ways because I want to have that fullness at the back. So can you see this is the side back like this? So I'm going to also slash this point like this. I'm going to also slash the center back like this. So can you see what I have for my back? Okay, so this is what we have for the back. You open as wide as you want it to be, and then this is what we have for the front. You open as wide as your material can carry. Okay, that's that. So I'm just going to place our fabric and show us how to cut the back and then how to cut the down part and add our sewing allowances. I've placed my front piece, as you can see, the F. So the amount of fabric I'm using is 18 inches on fold. 18 inches, of course, we know that 1 yard is 36 inches. So I'm using like 1 yard for the front. That's how wide I want the sweep of this outfit to be. Okay, so remember that I'm working with a length of 64 inches. That's how long the person wants her outfit to be. So here is my 60 inches. So now you can see this is my 4 inches here, 64, and then my hemming allowance of ½ inch, because if you're making a mermaid you don't really need too much hemming allowance. I just need this ½ inch because I'll be using crinoline at the hem of this outfit to give it that wavy look on the floor. So I just need extra ½ inch. Okay, so this is it here. So now I'll bring this part like this and then I'll connect it like so. So like this. So I'll bring it like this and connect. So can you see where this finishes? So you can see you need this part to touch the ground. That's this part to give it that fullness on the floor like this. So I'll just curve it to meet it at this point. So take note of the way it is. It's not straight. I curved it to give me that nice look. Of course, what am I trying to say? Here is my 64 inches. I went up here by like 3 inches to create my curve. So you can do 3 inches, you can do 2 inches depending on how full the outfit is. Okay, so now having gotten that shape, I'm going to come here now and start adding my sewing allowance. So remember that I added 2 inches sewing allowance to the upper bodies. So that's what I'm doing. I'm adding my 2 inches sewing allowance. Can you see that my dart is closed? So on the knee, I'm not going to add up to 2 inches because remember we want to have that fine curvy mermaid dress. So here I added 2 inches. So here I'll just add, I'm using 1.5 here so that I can have the curvy effect. Okay, so I just want to connect this like this, connect also, and then you want to just come here. Remember that this part is curvy, so you now bring it out like this. So you can use your ruler to do this part. Okay, but my hand is giving me what I'm looking for. So let me just get my ruler and do that. I'll just use my ruler to connect it nicely. So you can see that this part still goes inward to give the mermaid shape. Okay, so we'll come here and then also we'll add half inch for joining the waist to the upper part. Okay, so after doing this, I'll show us how we can do our back shape. Remember that it's a back shape that the upper body is. Okay, so this is it for our front piece. I'll bring in my scissors and we'll cut it out. So I'll be cutting on the extra half inch I added here for joining the upper part, that's which is the seam allowance. Okay. Okay, so I have my front pattern on my front part of my skirt. So can you see how nice it really came out? So we'll quickly place our fabric to cut the back. Okay, so this is this is our back piece. Now remember that we're going to be adding our sewing allowance. Can you see that this place it indicated center back? So I'm adding a zip allowance of 1 inch at that point. So center back, I'll add my zip allowance of 1 inch. 1 inch. Can you see that? So this is the hip line, this is the waistline. So on this point, I'll be using just half inch, which is just basically for my sewing allowance because zip will run from here to the hip line a little lower than the hip line. So here is just half inch. You don't want to add too much allowance. If not, the aim of removing that 1 inch will even be defeated. Okay, so I added half inch at that point. So this is the side. I'll come here and add my 2 inches for my sewing allowance, 2 inches also to the waistline. So can you see that? So here to the side, just like we did for the front, we added 1.5 here. So I'm going to add my 1.5 there also, and then bring my ruler and then connect. So I'm connecting from hip to knee line here on the center back, then to waistline here. So connect from here to here, and then from hip to knee line also. So let me mark this knee line like this and mark my 1.5 so that I'll connect accurately. So here we are. So and then of course we'll connect all the way to this part also, so that we're arranging here. So take note of how wide we opened. So this depends on the amount of fabric you are working with. Remember that the front I said I folded 18 inches on fold, but for the back, can you see that I have as wide as 26? So the back is going to be fuller than the front. That's what a mermaid should look like. Okay, so So now remember that we're looking for the length of 64 inches, and on the knee line when we're drafting we said her knee line is 40. So here is my 60 inches, placing my tape from 40. Here is my 60 inches. I'll go ahead and mark my 4.5 inches. That's 4 inches plus half inch for turning the crinoline. Okay, so now you see this. So by opening, I'll come here now and then curve like this. And you see, so this is the center back. So this center back, I want it to have like a tail, just a little tail effect, because this 64 is actually not even her length. This is a length that will sweep the ground. Her actual length is 59 inches. So that's extra 5 inches. So you can see I'm just bringing this part a little lower. Okay, that's just like extra 1 inch. So now I'll bring my ruler and also connect this part to this point. So can you see from here, from this half inch, I'm just going to connect it like this. So can you see that here will just touch the ground more than this side. This side has a curve. Of course, this side has to correspond with the other side. Okay, so we'll go ahead and cut out half inch, which is for joining the upper part and the lower part. Okay, so please don't forget, if you don't do that it will reduce your length. Okay, so we're going to do that. So I'll cut from here now like this. That the center back has a nice board shape. Of course, now you must be very careful at this point. You don't want to make the mistake of leaving it like this, because you can easily interchange them. Remember that their difference in length is not so much, so you cannot use that one to say, okay, once you see that, you remember that this side is longer. So you will come here and mark your zip allowance. So here is your zip allowance. So you just come here and notch it. So can you see, once you cut it a little like that, so I'll place my pattern here. So I want to notch where my dart, the back dart is going to be. So this is where the dart, by placing my pattern, you can see this is the center of my dart. I'll notch this point. So by the time I'm sewing, I know that 1 inch from this side, 1 inch from this side, I'm sewing my dart at the right point. Okay, so let's bring in our front pattern so that we can see if they are aligning at the sides. Pattern, that's front piece, not pattern anymore, these are fabric. So can you see that the two of them are aligning by the sides here, which is very important, just like we did for our upper bodies. We want to make sure that they are all aligning by the sides. Okay, so that is it for the lower part of our skirt. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to place my fabric. Of course, I won't show us that because it's just the same thing. I'm going to be cutting out the lace fabric and then also cutting out the upper body's part, and then I'll show us how to cut our loops for this outfit.